we move on, एक और कहानी मैं आपके साथ शेयर करना चाहती हूँ। ये कहानी एक मदर और डॉटर डुओ की है जो ऑल द वे फ्रॉम बेंगलुरु आज हमारे साथ जुड़ने वाले हैं अपनी स्टोरी शेयर करने के लिए टू इंस्पायर ऑल ऑफ अस। तो आई वुड लाइक टू वेलकम मिस आशा दिनेश और उनकी जो बेटी है दिव्या दिनेश। ये है को फाउंडर्स ऑफ वेदा अर्थ। ओके, वेदा अर्थ आपने देखा होगा, शायद इंस्टाग्राम पे आपने एड्स देखे होंगे या इनका पेज देखा होगा। They have their own company and they're also trustees of Asha Hasta Trust. And they jointly run this naturally skincare product company. पर ये जर्नी ना जितनी ग्लैमरस और आसान दिखती है, बिहाइंड द सीन्स क्या होता है, लेट्स फाइंड आउट। ये एक बहुत ब्रेव स्टोरी है। सोशल मेंटल ऑब्स्टिकल्स जो आए उनके रास्ते में, उनकी जर्नी में, with Divya being born with a cleft. So they had to be really strong. They had to grow strong as individuals and get through life. So let's hear from them. Where did all of this begin? And how did they go through it? What have been the defining moments in their journey? And message, of course, बाकी सारे parents, उनके बच्चे and the cleft warriors. What do they ask? So welcome Divya and Asha. We're really happy to have you join us today.
As soon as Divya was born, we came to know that she had a little bit of a cleft lip, but it was very minor in the sense that just the shape of the lip was gone up a little bit, the dark pink that is here. And but we didn't mind because she was really beautiful and she was really precious to us in the sense that I had lost the first two issues and she was more precious to me, and that didn't bother actually. The respective doctors had said that the child is supposed to be, I think, 10 or 20 kgs or something before any correction or anything can be done. So then you have to, of course, wait for the child to gain so much weight or become a little bit older, to take the stress and strain of the surgery, because the baby is very tiny. So we listened to the doctors and we took it from there. But the people, they will not tell you outright what is this, that your baby is looking different or whatever. But I could sense from the way they were looking, that kuch to gadbad hai baby ka, but nobody is speaking out loudly to me or to my husband, okay, what is this, ye kya ho gaya karke. So, but we were happy, me and my husband. That did not deter us, from being happy or treating the child in a different way, And even our close family members, like my parents at least, because they were living with me and taking care of me while I was pregnant also. So they didn't show any kind of indifference, or say anything also about, the way the child was born with, a very mild defect, but they did not bring it up at all, So we were at complete ease actually.
I did not know that I was born this way with a cleft lip. I did observe that my lip is slightly shaped differently and I have this line or scar above my lip. And I think probably, I don't remember the exact age, but I must be somewhere around 10 or something. I must have asked my parents, like, what is this? And I think they felt I'm too small at that point of time to take in such a concept. So they told me that you were a very active kid and you were jumping around from, some tall place and you kind of hit the corner of the bed and it tore your lip, and that's the stitch mark that you have. So that's what I thought, that I got hurt, and that's how I have this mark. Then I think as I grew up, I mean, I was conscious about it because it made me look little different from others, but because this seemed like an accidental scar, I was okay. But then as I grew up to be older, probably 13, 14, or much later, I don't remember the exact age. So I think I must have asked again or whatever, because somewhere I felt that like what exactly happened for me to get this scar. And I think that time my mom told me that we didn't want to tell you this at a young age, and there's something called cleft lip, and you were born with it. And then I went ahead and like searched to find out what exactly is cleft lip, and what it means and all of that. And the first time I understood what cleft lip means and that I was born with it, it kind of had a very strong impact on me, because somewhere in the first thought that I got was, oh, I was born imperfect. I'm not born normal. So that was the thought that came into my head. And somewhere I felt like I'm incomplete. Like, oh, okay, everyone else is normal, but I'm not normal. And I kind of became more self-conscious. I already was kind of an introvert, not too confident. But what this did was, this thought just added more to my insecurities, because I already knew I have a scar, but now every time I met someone new, I would probably start thinking that, okay, are they staring at my scar? Do they know that I look different?
Making the child understand what is a cleft lip is a bit difficult, and they keep asking, whatever age you would have told them about the truth. They keep asking why it happened, what's the reason. And like so many times, the parents don't have a valid reason, as to why the child was born with such a cleft lip, or if it is with any other child, could be palate also. We did not have any child in the whole history, that any child was born this way. But we made her understand that it is okay to have born that way, and that a lot of children have even more deformities, which could be worse, whereas in her case it was very mild. So we tried to make the blow a little bit lesser for the child.
Yeah, so once I came to know that I have cleft lip, and I kind of researched and tried to find out what is the reason behind me being born, and there is no one particular reason as to why a cleft lip or a cleft palate forms. You see many, when you search for it, you see many reasons given, but no one identifiable one. So then I wanted to feel comfortable. So I at the age of 19, I went at 18, I met my plastic surgeon, the same one who had done my corrective surgery at when I was probably a year old. And then I told him, I'm still very conscious about my scar, so is there something that can be done? And he said there is like a corrective where we minimize the scar even more, and we kind of wait for you to reach adulthood so that the maximum facial growth has happened. And then when we do the surgery, the scar, whatever you have, that also we'll just clean it up a little bit more. The scar is very minimal, but for me, because till that point I was very conscious, I wanted to do that, whatever is required to get it further minimized. So then I said okay, and then at the age of 19 I got the corrective surgery done, and he kind of corrected the shape of my nostril as well at that same point of time, little bit. Like even now, like if I really like lift and see, there's slight difference in the shape of the nostril between 1 and 2, but that's only if someone really observes it. I don't think if you just see me regularly you'll be able to make out that. So I was still very conscious. I went ahead, I did college, and in college also, in spite of the corrective surgery, I was still conscious about this. And anytime I spoke to anyone, when you shake hands with them and uh, you talk with them, my first thought is, oh, they're staring at my face, they must be staring at my scar, is it still visible? And I wouldn't smile too much, like I would hold myself back and all of that. And this continued till say 22 years old, 23 years old. All this is impacting my self confidence and how I interact with people. And then I went to this, like there was this course that I attended, uh, where it's more of a self help group course kind of thing. So there, the person conducting the course told me that I've been observing you for the last 2 days and you don't raise your hand or ask questions or talk much. I see something is bothering you. What is it, right? And I told them that I'm very conscious and this is because of my cleft lip. I have a cleft lip and I feel people judge me for it, that I look different from everyone else. Then the speaker told, okay, he made me stand, and then he told, okay, you've been doing this course for last 2 days with her, and they had us changing seats and all of that, so that you sit with a lot of people and you get to interact, right? So he said, how many of you observed that there was something different about her face, right? There was, people turned back and looked at my face to try to see if they identified, and there was 2-3 people who lifted their hand, right? And then then he asked, did you know that there's cleft lip? It was the same 2-3 people who raised and told it's a scar. Like I pointed out and I told, this is where I have the scar, and people did not raise 2-3. The 2-3 people who raised hands were medical professionals who were there. So they were doctors or medicals who said that we were able to identify because we are aware of this, and that's the time that hit me, like, okay, in my head I think that people observe this thing that is so different about me, versus half the time people are least bothered. They just thought like that's some natural feature I have. They didn't even realize it's a scar, right? And that was the eye-opening moment. I realized that I have built it up so much in my head, I'm holding myself back.
I feel proud to be the mother of such a daughter. I mean, both my daughters. I'm proud of both of them. More so of Divya, although in spite of all these things that were happening at the back of her mind, she's able to overcome all of that and has built such a amount of confidence, that she's not scared to face anybody, and that she has taken up this journey to say that, okay, I'm ready to speak in front of people about it and all of that. So, that brings, that needs also a lot of confidence. People give a lot of reasons, that the pregnant lady went out during an eclipse, or, did more work with a knife, this, that. But my thing is, there's nothing that the pregnant lady would have done wrong for her child to be born this way. it was just a coincidence, and it's just fate. So my thing is just be confident, the mother, and to take care of the child like any other normal child, and to not put her fears into the thought of the child. If the child is growing up, they should look confident, and they should not be worried so much in front of the child, because if you're doing that in front of the child, you're passing all kinds of things to your child. You're always talking in front of the child. Once it is grown up, "Are ye kya ho gaya, what happened," and all that. Don't be speaking all these things in front of the child. If you want to speak, you have to speak outside of the room where the child is not there, but always be loving towards the child, and let the child do whatever he or she wants to do in life. And please, the sooner you contact and show to a doctor to get this corrected, whether it's a cleft lip or a cleft palate, the better for you.
Don't lose hope. Don't feel that you are imperfect, right? You are not imperfect. That you are born different, and that makes you unique. That does not make you ugly. Please do not think of the word ugly or remove it, I would say, because there is no such thing as such. It's something that makes you unique. Many of us are born with, say, mole on our face or birthmark, right? It's something like that. It's something you're born uniquely. So just accept it as a part of your body, and the sooner you accept, sooner people around you will also accept. Concentrate, after the surgery also, I would say lot of importance has to be given to mental health of the child, because I got the corrective surgery at 19, but that did not change my mindset of physically, if all the things was corrected, but the scarring that you may have in your thoughts and minds doesn't go away so easily. In your head, you are still that person who thinks I was born this way, right? So it's important you work with a counselor or someone till they help you accept and reach that stage where you no longer consider yourself abnormal or you have these kind of thoughts. So I would say mental health of the child, even post surgery, till whatever age it may take them to make themselves get back their confidence, is really important. And I don't think this is something that will stop you from achieving whatever you need to. You can study or do education, whatever you want to. You can do whatever business or work wherever you want to, and be ahead. And in my case, I am now married, and I am my husband liked this unique feature. He says, "You have this different shaped lip. That's what attracted me the first time I saw you." So that's something that I thought no one would appreciate. That was the first thing my husband noticed in me, and he said it's very unique. So I would say you can even cleft lip, cleft palate, people who have had it can go ahead, have normal lives, get married, have children as well, and you don't have to worry about thinking, because there is no proven thing to say that it is genetically passed down to your children or anyone. Doesn't mean that your child will get it. So you can stop that worry at yourself and not carry on and let your whole life come to a stop. So I would say we need lot more of you to come forward. Be ready to share your stories so that many more people are able to get inspired.
No one's here. Oh, Asha ma'am and Divya ma'am are here. This is lovely. Thank you for joining us. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ,
Yes,
ಹೇಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ನಮಸ್ತೆ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಬಹಳ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಯ್ತು hearing from you, hearing your stories. Thank you so much for sharing this. And Divya, we've actually got questions for you. You spoke about mental health, right? So the question is, how do you focus on that? How do you get people to focus on that through your journey?
So I think it helps when more number of people come and speak about their stories, because one of the things about mental health is it's such a less spoken about concern that people think it has to, even if you have any kind of problem or any kind of issue, whether it's something simple as just anxiety or depression or anything more serious, they think it's something that has to be kept only inside the house. It should not be shared. The way mental health works is that you need to share your problems to kind of lighten yourself better, and that's what counseling is. That's where it helps, anyone. I would say mental health for everyone. Just like we give importance to physical well-being, mental well-being is also equally important.
Thank you, and I would urge everyone to please focus on that and don't look at it as taboo कि you're going to a therapist or speaking to somebody. Of course not. जैसे आप doctors के visit करते हो वैसे ही you have to think about mental health. My next question actually is to both of you, that what is the role close family members play in protecting a cleft child and of course giving them a chance of equal upbringing and chances to grow?
I think in terms of I'm the first born child, and I do have a younger sister. My younger sister did not have a child. I was the only one born. But both of us were never treated anyway. Both of us were given equal opportunity. Both of us were sent to the same kind of schools, interacted with people, and similar to how my mom mentioned that none of my family members kind of made it a big issue or relatives to make me feel bad. So in a way, I grew up in a very good environment where no one made me feel it's really important first the immediate family members try to be there all the time and don't make it don't make that person feel self-conscious that there's something wrong. The more you point and then make them think about it, the more they're going to also start becoming aware about feeling
Okay. And my last question to you, Divya, is what is the one thing that has made you cleft your strength?
One thing I would say is interacting with people, and mainly I would say just you need to be more strong. I think many of us place a lot of importance on what other people think of us rather than trying to think what do I think of myself. And then it's important that you are happy with yourself, you are confident about yourself, then of course people are also going to reciprocate the same thing to you. So that is something that I feel makes me knowing that okay, I've accepted myself and I like myself is what helps me stay strong. And that's what comes out as confidence when I talk with others.
That is lovely. Thank you so much for sharing this. And that's what I'm going to take back as well, confidence. And congratulations. I do follow Veda Earth. So this was really lovely to connect with you and speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.